Have you ever made a decision you thought was 100% right, only to realize later that you missed something obvious? Maybe you bought something online because the reviews looked amazing, but later you found out half of them were fake. Or perhaps you jumped into a business idea without checking all the risks. We've all been there. And it's not because we aren't smart, it's because we often skip the skill that can save us from making these mistakes. The ability to develop critical thinking skills. Hey, I'm your friendly guide, Mr. Smart, and today we're diving into something that can completely change the way you make decisions, solve problems, and even understand the world around you. I'm going to share with you 6 powerful steps that aren't just theory. They're the exact ways to improve critical thinking that you can start applying today. And trust me, by the end, you'll see just how life-changing this skill can be. Before we jump into the steps, let me tell you why this matters so much. In today's world, we are drowning in information. News, opinions, ads, videos, it's everywhere. And here's the problem. Not all of it is true, and not all of it is helpful. If we don't train our minds to filter, question, and connect ideas, we end up making choices based on half-truths or outright lies. That's why knowing how to develop a critical thinking mindset isn't just for scholars or scientists, it's for everyone. All right, let's break it down into 6 steps that can make you sharper, more aware, and far better at making decisions. Challenge the obvious. Here's the first step. Stop accepting things at face value. Imagine someone tells you, "This is the best restaurant in town." Your first reaction might be, "Okay, let's go." But what if their definition of best is based on something you don't care about, like free breadsticks instead of good food? Challenging the obvious means asking, why is this considered the best? Or what's the evidence? The moment you stop nodding and start questioning, you begin to develop critical thinking skills naturally. This step is like taking off tinted sunglasses. You start seeing the full color of the truth instead of someone else's version of it. And here's the thing. This isn't about being negative or skeptical for no reason. It's about curiosity. It's about saying, let me see the bigger picture before I decide. Whether it's a news headline, a friend's opinion, or a business opportunity, don't just accept the label, dig into what's underneath it. Filter the facts. Once you've challenged the obvious, you're going to be hit with a ton of information, some of it useful, some of it noise. This is where filtering comes in. Think about scrolling through social media. You might see a post saying, drinking 3 cups of coffee a day will make you live longer. Sounds great if you love coffee, right? But before you celebrate, you need to ask, who said this? Was it based on real research? Was that research done well? Or was it sponsored by a coffee company? Filtering the facts means separating solid information from shaky claims. It's asking, is this coming from a credible source? Is it backed by evidence? This step alone can save you from making costly mistakes. The more you train your brain to filter, the faster you'll develop critical thinking skills that work in real life. Switch lenses. Have you ever tried to fix a puzzle but got stuck because you kept looking at it the same way? Then someone else comes in, tilts their head, and says, "Oh, here's where that piece goes." That's what switching lenses does. Switching lenses means looking at a situation from different perspectives. If you're deciding whether to move to another city for a job, don't just look at salary. Think about cost of living, work-life balance, community, and long-term opportunities. Ask yourself, if I were my future self looking back, would I be happy with this choice? This step is also about empathy, understanding how others see the situation. When you can step into someone else's shoes, you often see angles you would have missed otherwise. And that is pure gold when you're building ways to improve critical thinking. Spot the blind spots. Here's something tricky. We all have blind spots. Those little biases and habits that sneak into our thinking without us realizing. Maybe you automatically trust people who talk confidently, even if what they're saying is wrong. Or maybe you dismiss an idea just because it's coming from someone you don't like. Spotting blind spots requires self-awareness. You have to pause and ask, am I reacting based on facts, or am I letting my personal feelings steer the wheel? One way to do this is to write down your first reaction to something, then challenge it by asking, what evidence supports this? What evidence goes against it? When you start spotting your own blind spots, you take your ability to develop critical thinking skills to an entirely new level. You're no longer just reacting, you're thinking through every angle. Link ideas like a pro. Critical thinking isn't just about breaking things apart, it's also about connecting the dots. Sometimes the answer to a problem doesn't come from one big aha moment. It comes from linking small ideas from different places. Maybe you're working on a marketing strategy and remember a story from a completely different industry that solved a similar problem. Or you're trying to improve your health and realize that lessons from time management apply here too, like setting small, measurable goals. Linking ideas like a pro means you see patterns in relationships where others only see separate events. It's like building a bridge between two islands. Suddenly, you have more territory to work with. And when you combine this with the other steps, you'll master how to develop a critical thinking mindset in a way that makes you unstoppable. Decide with clarity. All the questioning, filtering, and connecting in the world won't matter if you can't make a clear decision. At some point, you have to take action, and this is where clarity comes in. Deciding with clarity means you've looked at the evidence, weighed different perspectives, spotted your blind spots, and connected the relevant ideas. Now you choose, not because you're 100% sure, but because you've given the decision the best possible thought. Clarity also means owning your decision. Even if it doesn't work out perfectly, you know you made it based on the best information you had. That confidence is a huge part of what it means to develop critical thinking skills. It's not about being right every time. It's about making smart, informed choices you can stand by. Now, here's the beautiful part. These 6 steps – challenge the obvious, filter the facts, switch lenses, spot the blind spots, link ideas like a pro, and decide with clarity – aren't something you have to memorize and follow in order every single time. The more you use them, the more they'll become second nature. You'll notice yourself pausing before reacting, checking your sources, considering new angles, and connecting unexpected ideas. And when that happens, you'll start making better decisions in your career, your relationships, and your everyday life. You'll spot opportunities other people miss. You'll avoid mistakes others walk straight into. You'll think for yourself, even in a world that's constantly trying to think for you. So here's your takeaway. Don't just listen to these steps, start using them today. The next time you're about to make a decision, ask yourself, am I challenging the obvious? Have I filtered the facts? Have I switched lenses? What are my blind spots? Can I link any new ideas here? Am I ready to decide with clarity? I'm Mr. Smart, your friendly guide. And if you found this helpful, hit that like button, share it with someone who could use a sharper way of thinking. And don't forget to subscribe. Because every week, we're bringing you more tools to think better, live smarter, and make decisions that truly work for you.